Good evening, everybody. May take a minute for it to kick in here, but change the theme of the Baker Barn to be a bit more mystic. I don't know if it worked or not. Everybody's having a fantastic weekend, Saturday night. Thanks for joining in if you are. We hope to have a interesting discussion. Hopefully Johnny shows up here. Just as a preview or whatever background. John and I have known each other for years and years and years and years. Oh, there he is right there. And John is at a trade show of all places. You can believe that. There he is.
What's up, brother?
How's it going, man?
Good. I'm sitting in the garage in the heat so the family can do their thing, and I'm in here. They're actually going to take off, so they might interrupt us a little bit later on. But
that's right. Where are you? Arizona, then. You're back in Arizona.
Arizona for the weekend. I'll be heading back to California on Tuesday. I have another job I got to finish up out here, and then going over there and doing the madness.
Dude, that is madness.
Straight.
I thought I was insane, but holy crap, man.
2 states?
Baker, I have really come to understand Devin and I both, we're straight up lunatics.
Yeah, that's insanity, man.
It truly is. However, it's the path that I chose, and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to let, I'm going to get what I need out of it, and then I'll be done with it.
Hey, do you know what you need out of it yet? Just the address. Yeah, exactly. Just the money.
Just the money.
Yeah, that's a crazy life, and I know it. And as I've said to you in private, I respect what you do because I've lived that life, and I got what I wanted out of it. I got too much out of it and quit, and just said, you know what, I got to change my life, or my entire life is going to crater. So.
Yeah, I gotta do something, for my family, and I need to get back. I need to hone in my team a little bit better. They're doing really good. I got a really great crew right now. We're doing good things. I'm really excited about where my future is going to be in the next couple months. So I'm just going to keep on going and keep on doing what I'm doing. And that's why I don't really post much on here, because I'm masterminding my own success. I'm doing it. I'm walking the walk. I'm talking the talk. And that's the only thing that you can do. You got to get off of this. You got to get off of this if you want to scale, if you want to learn, you want to grow, you want to self-develop. You have to self-develop.
Yeah.
No one's going to do it for you. You gotta work on you. And once you work on you, you understand, fuck everything else. You gotta learn how to push everything out, to be successful in what you're trying to achieve. And for me, it's growing a fantastic team that works together, that loves each other, that you've been there before, man. You've done it. We got to work together, and we got to all come across the finish line. And it's a difficult thing to do. That's why you downsized for a while, and I totally feel that, and I understand that. And I'm glad that I know people that have gone full circle and to help me. And and all that. You give me visions of some stuff, and I have a lot of help around me in the plumbing community on pretty good levels. So I'm pumped.
No, it's awesome. You're just before we dive into the actual reason we're talking, but you're 100% right, and that's sort of my message that I try to repeat. It's all on you. It's all about you. Everything, whether you have 25 guys working for you, or I downsized. It's all about what you can do, what you can contribute, what your focus is, and you have far more potential than you think you do.
Yeah, and I would love to tap into the Instagram wars for a minute here. Not too long, but the whole premises of what you say and the things that you're talking about are very real and valid. That if you actually put this phone down and focused on your own success, you would win. I lost a lot of success in my own personal life, business and personal, trying to be an IG guy. I lost a lot of years, man. I lost a lot of years and a lot of money. I lost a lot of money. You
left a lot on the table, didn't you? Because you're chasing the wrong dog.
Exactly, 100%. Instead of me educating my team, I'm educating people I don't even know. Yeah. I'm educating people that don't care about me, and they, it's just a wild experience when you get out of it. The only way you get out of it is, for one, delete your fucking app. You got to delete your app. I mean, I've been kind of MIA for over a year and a half, kind of like really on the being very selective of what I do and what I say and stuff like that. For one, I totally understand that what I do on here affects my team. And so, if you are a leader and you're trying to do stuff for the Instagram for people you don't know, you better think about it twice on what you're doing to the people that you do know.
Well, and half the people don't like you anyway.
Absolutely.
Right? Like that's the fucking thing. Is half of them think you're great, half of them think you're an asshole. I'm here doing my dog and pony show, and your team is like, dude, what the fuck you're doing? We're digging ditches over here.
We want you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So good on you, man. Yeah. Good on you. That's a tough thing to do. I'll give you kudos to sort of you just cut it. I don't know. We're not here to talk about that, but you cut it for like a year.
I felt really
disappeared.
Good. Yeah, I felt really, really engaged in what I was trying to do with my team. I was able to really do the self-developing stuff and focus on my leadership skills and how I can be a better communicator, which I still don't think I'm a great communicator. However, I know what I need to do, and I've studied it, and I have it written down, and that's all I can do, right? Is we have to read. This is kind of a good lead-in into our conversation here. Is the reprogramming of the way we've been taught to do things, right? I mean, the way we've been taught to do things is just savage, emotional, and just like pity party this, pity party that, and that's what social media is really driven. And feel sorry for me. Oh, you need support because you're not getting it from the people that you want it from. Well, what's your relationship like? Do you have a relationship with these people?
In real life. In real life. Like, come on here and be fake and cry, and people will do whatever. But what's your little circle like?
Yeah.
It sucks, bro. Fix that.
Sucks because you don't know how to do it like this.
Yeah. Yep.
But
100%.
Going into the whole, like, I'll start this conversation
man. Let's go.
By what I've been doing the past year and a half to get my zen, to get me back. I get out in the wilderness. I go hiking. I'm sure you guys have seen me post some stuff about hiking and doing prospecting work and stuff like that, man. Getting out there and just really looking at the world and grounding yourself to the planet you're actually standing on. It's really important. One of my biggest mentors, his name's Tom Byer. If you California people watch this, if you've known Tom Byers, he's a really great mentor of mine. He's the one that pushed me to get my license. He's the one that taught me a lot about business and stuff like that. But one of the biggest things that he taught me, I was, being a top dog at a shop's not that easy, and you get emotional. You become a little bitch, and you whine and complain when things aren't perfect for you because you know what you're capable of. One thing comes around and you're crying about it. Oh, I got to do my paperwork. I hear that all day, every day. Big whining about it. This is the responsibilities that you took upon yourself by taking this job and signing that contract. Why are you going to cry about it? So anyways, what he would tell me, like, John, I really want you to go do this. He's like, I'm going to send you a GPS point right here on your map book. On your map book. He's like, here you go. You go to page 295, coordinates D9. Right there, there's a park. Go to this park. And I want you to sit down under this tree over there, and I want you to just touch the ground and touch the tree at the same fucking time. ground your emotions to the world and let it heal you, you know? And that's the fucking truth that we all forget and we all don't really acknowledge. And, you know, there are spiritual things that can take us down a whole new path if you allow it and you're listening good enough, you know?
That's the best thing about, I mean, I love my farm, obviously, but that's what it does for me. I come home, throw the tools away, and go watch the goats, go deal with the chickens, whatever happens to be needed to be done around here. And like you said, you're touching like real live stuff that actually depends on you. And, you know, you just take a minute. Like I just hatched up, 15 little chickens, and just watching those little buggers go from, the egg that is, like everybody knows, to a chick. I'm like, what in earth is happening here? How does that happen? And I can show you all stages, but dude, it goes from that to that. It's a miracle is what it is. It's that little package that you had on your little, like you just posted with the little, here's the knowledge of how to make things work. Right?
Yeah. So that picture is great. I actually downloaded some pictures. I haven't been on here for a long time, so I don't know how to share the pictures. If you know how to share the pictures,
I don't know.
Well, then we won't do the pictures. But in that picture, they're carrying a box, right? And then they're also carrying what appears to be a pine cone or a seed to seed the world, to seed this planet. And you could take that box in many different ways there.
Some people think it's a pomegranate.
A pomegranate?
Yep.
What, the seed?
That thing that they hold. And so, like I say, we'll bounce all over the place, so everybody hang on for the fucking ride here. But, that if you go back into, like, Hebrew history, they had little pomegranates on all their ephods. And that was the seed, like you just said, that seeded the whole world. And it goes back to that, it is homage to that sort of thing. So obviously the story's a bit different, but when you see that statue that's 30,000 years old, right? Right? You're like, what the hell is that doing? What's it, Göbekli Temple? I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, but
it's insane. The dates are just brutal.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to this book about the Emerald Scrolls, the Emerald Tablets that are they're rated around 40,000 BC.
Yeah, man. 40,000.
They cannot melt this shit. They say it's a form that you cannot change. You will not be able to do it. And about the Emerald Scrolls, it's about the deity, which we would consider probably a god. In their eyes, it's not their god because they are not even their god. Even their top dog is not the god. Yeah. They have levels just like us. I mean, you don't have one person without having a grandparent. That doesn't happen, right?
No, it doesn't.
Who's
God's father?
So Thoth, Thoth, I would say that we consider him, if you're not diving in mega deep into the Bible, if you're just a Christian from Christianity and raised in America, God that you think of, you would actually think, when you study a little bit more, it's Thoth. And he was descended from space coming down. It says this in the Emerald Scrolls, in the Emerald Tablets. It says he descended from the heavens down onto earth because of, I forget who told him to come, but they told him to come back and rebuild civilization on this planet, to rebuild it after the Great Flood. Now, the Great Floods, there's been 2 Great Floods.
Which ones?
What's that?
Which ones? Everybody knows the Noah flood. What's the other one?
So let's just, you want to talk about Noah?
Okay.
that is part of this though, because they do talk about the ship that was built not by Noah. There's another ship that was built the first time this happened, and that is why he was told to build a boat. It's already happened before. They knew it happened before. So these things could happen because of multiple reasons. For one, there has been also not just 2 great floods, there's been 2 great pyramid wars. Throughout these tablets, there's 2 great floods, 2 great pyramid wars. Now, these pyramid wars could have caused the ice ages that had the melting caps that flooded out our worlds.
Yeah.
I don't know. However, it's a theory that is in these that are in these tablets. It's fucking wild, bro. So to me, our civilization's been rebuilt at least 2 times.
I agree.
And we don't know shit about shit.
No.
And
that's the crazy thing when you dig into this stuff, right? Like we've all been there. I mean, everybody that's on this feed is like, at some point in your life, you're like, you know what? I know everything I need to know. I see Utah electricians on here, and he can quote, the code book, front to back, and he knows that better than anybody. You know what I mean? But that's such a narrow piece of what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
Right. And so when you think you know everything, then you need to go open a book and go, I don't know anything about what's in this book, and I need to start digging.
And what's funny
and figuring
is
out what's going on.
They dated the pyramids in the 2600s, but the Great Pyramid, but that was during the rebuild. That was the rebuild.
Yeah.
That is not the original build.
Where did the Egyptians get all their information from?
Exactly.
They just some dude just wake up and go, all right, man, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And everybody just fell in line. Not a chance, man.
Way.
Like it's crazy. Because most of the people here are sort of Western Christians, we'll call them.
Yes.
Just throw everybody in just one massive grouping.
Or you can even just say it's part of the New World Order. We're the part of the New World Order.
New World Order. And so you look at that, like the stories that we've been told since we were little kids, or certainly that I've been told since we were little kids. And like I said, you get into sort of the Garden of Eden where it all started. And if you go with the Annunaki angle, like that was the middle of their city, was called Eden. And that goes back, 30,000 years.
Eons. Yeah.
And when they talk about in those stories about when Adam and those are all names of gods, like you said, Adam and Eve and Elohim and all that stuff.
They had different names, but yeah, they trickled down.
They line up pretty close. Yeah. It's like, is it John with an H or John with an N or a J? Some long version of it. Anyway, one of the things that I read was that they think that when Adam and Eve they did their sin and they got new skins, they were actually snake skins, because it's the only skin that there was no death in that scenario, and the only thing that you can get the skin from without killing it is a snake, which is where that whole that crazy reptilian stuff comes from. Mm-hmm. That they were given the pomegranate and the power of, and not muscle power, but knowledge.
Yeah.
To say, this is what you do when you leave the garden to go start your new world, and off you go. Make it happen.
This is the biggest thing that I hate about the wars we're having, is that we're destroying all of the most ancient history that we have on this universe or on this planet, right there in Iraq, Afghanistan, Israel, Egypt, all of that area, man. And it's so old and ancient, like civilizations on top of civilizations there. You just talk about the ancient architects that's on Netflix. Man, that shit is fucking wild. If you guys haven't watched it, you gotta watch it, because
you gotta watch that.
They take the oldest civilizations known to man. They prove that there is multiple civilizations underneath those.
Yeah.
They just build right on top of the old ones.
Yeah. 100%.
So going back to the name stuff, so we say Amen. Well, it's actually Amun, A-M-U-N, and he actually was the rebirther of our planet, but also the destroyer.
Yep.
We say Amen because he is the destroyer of our planet. He is the one that that destroyed the planet the last time and left us to survive on our own.
Yeah.
And we say amen to him because he gave us this planet and left. And thank you, sir, for giving us this planet. That is what that's about. And people don't really realize all the context based upon the weird stuff that we say, and they don't dive into it. But even, yeah, man, it's wild. Even if you just go back to the most basic knowledge of the Anunnaki is gold. They came here to farm gold to take back to their planet, to protect their planet and save their planet. Nibiru, which is gone. Nibiru, they consider it to be planet X. They think that it is planet X. So this stuff goes pretty wild, and supposedly it's in between Mars and Venus, somewhere over there in with Saturn over there. Their planet was gone. One of the planets. But
yeah, it's like some 636-year rotation, right?
Yeah.
And how they've lined that up with what's happening with our own ancient history, right?
But even like just the old, like let's just say any one of the constellations and stuff, those are named after deities that supposedly that's where they lived or where they came from. Yeah. So there's a reason why we're different genders, and it's not. It's because they came here and from different planets, and maybe even the same planet, but different species coming here and seeding our planet all across the planet in 7 main locations. And it's the number 7 comes up a lot when you dive into the history. Also 369. All of these numbers are very special numbers. They were from the 7th planet from the sun. So that's I believe that's in between Venus and Mars. I believe Mars. I'm not 100% sure. Well, guys, I'm not a full-on historian. I'm just
not scholars.
We're not scholars. I've just been nerding out like forever with this shit. So
here's an interesting thing. So, do you know how many chromosomes we have?
I forget.
We have 23. 23.
Okay.
The great apes have 24. And they did some analysis on it. And they, guys way smarter than us, and they went into it and they found out that they figure about 10,000 years ago that when two of those were joined together to make us. And their conclusion is that does not happen naturally. Somebody engineered that to make that chromosome join and create who we are today. And as you know, the story of the Annunaki is that they came down, tried to do something, had a bit of a revolt with the I forget the name, the Igigi or something like that. And they created man to say, listen, you guys have to take care of this stuff because our dudes that we brought down are no good.
Yes.
So here they did a bunch of bio experiments. Some of that went wrong, which is where the Nephilim come from.
Yep.
These giant man or whatever it is, human animal hybrids that all went crazy.
Yes.
And they finally figured it out and joined the chromosomes properly, and up popped Adam and Eve, who were the first man and woman from from Annunaki. And Anu is the chief god of the Annunaki, and Ki is his wife, right? And when you join the name, it's Annunaki, and supposedly it means children of light, which is what we are.
Everything's based upon light, and I don't know all the names, but there's a lot of names, and also
there's a ton of names.
A lot of the stories are skewed from original texts, so the names are different and all this stuff. But bottom line is, you guys, they didn't come up with Greek mythology just out of fucking thin air.
No.
These things are definitely things that have happened, and
if you dig into, and I realize we're all over the place, but if you dig into Nordic mythology, like all those gods,
okay, So
if you, so I read about,
just that right there,
yeah,
the Emerald Scrolls, they look
yeah,
like Norsemen's fucking writing.
yeah, right? Like it does. It's
100%.
whatever. Yeah. And so there's actual written accounts from back in the day where they would build their little temples, and I'm going to sort of mix Greece and Nordic because
Yeah.
it's everybody knows Greek better than Nordic. But if you had the temple of Athena or the temple of Zeus, you would go there and they would have a particular psychedelic mushroom or whatever, and you would take that and you could communicate directly with that god, and they would do it in groups. So you'd get, we'd do an
Get your own
influencer conference,
chance. Yeah.
and everybody would get together in that little temple, and you would all talk to the same deity at the same time. Like you're having a communal experience. It's not you're not walking in the woods stoned.
You're online, bro.
Literally, yeah, you're online. It's
So we
crazy.
live in, what dimension do we live in, right? We're the third dimension, right? I believe.
So they say. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How many more dimensions, right? So,
Well, the only other one that we can't is time, right? Like we're in a physical space. The only one that we don't control is time, and so that's the fourth dimension. And if you can control time, then you're basically a god, because I can go back in time, I can go forward in time, I can stop time, I can reverse time.
yeah.
No different than you do with a drain machine. Since we're plumbers, I can
Yep.
control that thing to do whatever I want. So if you
I
can
want
control the fourth dimension,
yeah,
you're a god.
absolutely. I want to dive back down into gold talk because the gold
Gold
talk
talk.
is how everything started supposedly, and I see it firsthand where I live. Everywhere I've lived, my whole life has been in the desert. I'm a desert rat kid. Like that's what I am. And every area that I have grown up in or lived in that is desert oriented, there has been major gold mines there. Like old fucking gold mines, big ones, man. And and as I'm doing my research and I'm getting out there physically myself to these certain areas, I see a historical road going right through my desert from gold mine to gold mine. Okay. I see it all the way across the Death Valley.
Yeah.
And Death Valley is all sand. Egypt, all sand. Why is it all sand? Okay. From how did the sand get there? Digging through granite, possibly. And or they do also say that during these pyramid wars, they blew up fucking everything. They tried to destroy everything they possibly could, and that is why the deserts are created. They were not desert before. So these are theories that they're saying, but to me, all of the sands that are in these big major locations, imagine all the digging and mining for gold and all that stuff. That's where all this dirt has come from. Why is there dirt just sitting aimlessly on the top of the planet?
Yeah.
You know?
It's true. Have you done any digging into the Tartarian Empire?
Not yet.
That, well, that's linked to your gold thing. Like they talk about the mud flood that sort of, that's the second flood I was talking about, where they destroyed everything like thousands of years ago, and then we just sort of built on top of that old stuff. But all that Tartarian was digging for minerals, gold, obviously, because that's what everybody wants. That's the properties of gold resist even like nuclear like fallout. You know what I mean? Like
when we talk about it for real, though, back in the day, okay, 5,000 years ago, why the fuck do we care about gold?
Right? Right?
It gives us no value. So if we're going to talk about digging value, you need steel. You need something hard. You're talking about carving whatever you want to carve with on the walls. You're not going to use gold. And you sure as hell don't want to use bronze either. But they did find a lot of bronze. And why did they use bronze? It looked like gold. Maybe they came down to get the gold and they're like, fuck you, dude. That's bronze, bro. That ain't gold. Get your ass back to work.
Yeah.
You know? So they're finding all these precious metals for what? Like we had no use for them at all. So what they do, we find these ancient gold artifacts that are fucking beautiful, mind-blowing beautiful. Why? Because we beautified our gold so the Anunnaki would want to come take our gold in our region.
Yeah. Right.
Why would that not make sense? Right?
Yeah.
Look at this beautiful piece of gold. Come buy this from me.
Come
Give
by
me,
and give me some
give me,
knowledge.
give me the seed of life and knowledge.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's fucking wild to think about. And then if you take that same thing into our modern day, what they do with our gold, where's our fucking gold? It's hiding. It's hiding.
Hiding.
Why?
Yep.
Why are we storing this shit?
Yep. Wow. Because of the gold-backed dollar, John. Come on.
Oh yeah, yeah. That makes right? It's the same
Right?
thing that they did to us with gold, right? Same
Yeah.
fucking thing.
Yeah. Fucking keep working. Just be a slave.
Yeah,
Go dig
and
it.
we're
Go
all
find
slaves
it.
to a society that we don't even care about. We're slaves to people we've never even met before. So
Yeah.
when you think about society as a
100%.
whole, we are just living the
100%.
most bullshit society on the planet. You're not living your life. You're not living your own purpose. You're living somebody else's purpose, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Like you say, you can see what's going on right now over there in Israel and Palestine and Ukraine. I mean, that's where all those gold, they found all those Dead Sea Scrolls was in Turkey and, right there. And how much of that is getting, obliterated because we're, dropping bombs on people because, I mean, I don't even know why. You can't even go into that discussion without it getting
Well, this is
fucking
what
nuts
makes
really quick.
one thing that makes me feel better is that Thoth says in his in the Emerald Tablets that he planted this knowledge in numerous temples around the planet. Okay,
Which
so
is, yep.
he has
There's
them
there's
in
ones in Mexico.
yes,
There's ones in Egypt.
yep,
They all have that exact same. I mean, they may not be the exact same dude, but all the symbologies there. There's that little, like, we'll call it a purse or bag of
yep,
knowledge. They all hold the pine cone, like you say, or pomegranate, whatever you want to call it.
yep,
And they all obviously have the power of flight because they're mostly birds. You know
yep.
what I mean? Or they have the head of a bird type of thing.
Yeah, and so I mean, I just think about my personal experience with these gold mines and with my region of the area, which is a very rich region for history that we have not even searched.
We
We have
haven't even
not
touched it.
searched, but when I'm retired from plumbing, this is what I'm planning on doing. I've always wanted to be an archaeologist since I was a little child, and this is the realm that I'm going to be going into is the Death Valley, Grand Canyon, all of these
Awesome.
areas, because the Grand Canyon also has mysteries. And
It has.
there
There's
is a sphinx there, there is a pyramid there, there's
there's
restricted
pyramids
areas.
there. There's areas you cannot go in. Why
Cannot
can't you
go
go
in.
in there? Like they will shoot
And
you.
and the Hopi Indian that owned all of this land, they have ancient DNA in them.
Yep.
They have DNA from the Egyptians and
Yep.
everything. And they said, Thoth said in 3600 that 36,000 years ago. Sorry, it's
BC.
so hard to think about these times.
Yeah.
He went through all of these lands, and he calls these lands, I think, Kim. I think he calls the Americas Kim. Either that or that might be China, because you think about Kim and all of those Asians that they say Kim, Kim, Kim. If you think about that, he says Kim, the planet of the lands of Kim. So it's very fucking interesting when you think about and you understand these tablets, and then you put it to real life context of stuff. But yeah, there's definitely things that are going on with the Hopi that they don't really know about, and obviously Utah's rich with like cave like wall dwellings and stuff like that. These are just people that have gotten out of the civilization. These are people that have ran away, that don't want to be a part of society that they have found. Where's the real society? Where's the big society with hundreds of thousands of slaves? Where are they? They are there. They're somewhere. And they talk about us, during the first Pyramid War, and an ice age came, they taught us how to go underground. And in my opinion, we used the gold mines that we were mining as storage for us to outlive this ice age that came about. And then when we came out, we lost all of our knowledge. We didn't know shit about shit about shit. So then the Great Flood came again and wiped even more shit out of there, so that they didn't have the knowledge when they returned to above ground. And there's just wild ass shit. I mean, Thoth even says that you will go to the land of the hairy people, and you will reseed this area, and it's just fucking bizarre. They even talk about in the Sumerian texts that they have found that that they did not, the Anunnaki, which are the Atlanteans, did not have women. We did not have women here as they were slaving away. What drives a man more than money? Pussy. So they did not have the drive any longer, and they were sick and tired of doing it and not getting the rewards that they were seeking. So Adam and Eve came about, all of that stuff. And then
the women showed up.
They actually started having sex on the planet with people. And then we get into Jesus Christ, the Virgin Mary. We get into Jesus Christ's grandmother that also had a virgin birth. We get into all of these other things that now we call the Bible, that was written and brought about in 100 AD, that were not even close to that time frame at all. And, they say that Jesus Christ, and I know I'm going to tread on this lightly for all you super Christians, that Jesus was actually groomed from the age of 12, for his whole life, to be this deity, to be this God. And I'm not a full-on Bible thumper, so my timelines might be wrong. I go by what I've also been taught in my life, and I will be going to the Bible a little bit later on after I dive into some structural foundational things in my head. And supposedly Jesus Christ kind of left the Bible at age 12. And in those times, he went to Egypt, he went to Iraq, he went to Israel, he went to India. He went to all of these areas.
He was in China. They have records of him in China.
Yes, sir.
Because he disappeared, right, from 12, and he didn't show up again until 30.
Yep.
Right? Like there's a huge gap in between that. What did he do?
He was groomed like a mother, man. And rightfully so. He became who he was. And this also the Levites or whatever, the levitators were the only people that can hold the Ark of the Covenant because they levitated.
The Levite?
Yep,
the Levite. Oh, I've never heard it as a levitator. That's an interesting
There you
take
go.
on it.
There you go. So you dive into these words after you study
I've
this
never
stuff,
heard
and then you're
that.
just like, boom, mind-opening, duh, So it goes pretty wild down that path, and all of these people in the Bible, they were deities supposedly, and these are ancient people that had, I'm going to just say it, magic powers. They had magic powers. And if you think about the Knights Templar and all of Jesus's disciples, these are people that he taught the way of magic to bring upon the lands, to create Christianity, to prove to people that there is a higher being, and he taught them the skills to do this. And if they did not comply, they killed them.
Yeah, I do think that's what, strip all of the, rules and regulations and all that stuff that sort of is associated with religion. I think that's its purpose, is for you to say, listen, man, there's more to this thing than you. Mm-hmm. There's more to this thing than, what you can see and touch and feel and taste. There's that fourth dimension. What is that? You need to know that there's more to it than just what you can do.
Yep.
And I absolutely subscribe to powers that we don't understand. You call them magic, whatever you want to call them. miracles, whatever the case may be. Like I'll go back to my chicken. How does my chicken go from runny yolk to a chicken? It's fucking magic. It's magic.
It's
And
magic, bro.
it's the only way you can describe it,
Straight magic. I
right?
totally agree, bro.
And that's what they say. I mean, the scriptural phrase is after he was 12, he grew in wisdom and stature. What does that mean? And then he shows back up on the scene when he's 30. He's like, okay, man, we're gonna kick this thing off. Let's go,
Yes.
right? And starts doing all the miracles that we all know about, and
Yes.
it's a crazy, I think that I do not have the brain power to connect them all, but I think they're all connected somehow.
Absolutely. They have got to be. There's no way that it couldn't be. I mean, you just think about the Aztecs, man. It is brutal. It is insane.
Yeah.
We have no fucking clue even about it. There's so much more over there, man.
Right.
That
Right.
like they're doing the LiDAR shit. Like they're seeing all this stuff that no one's ever even thought was there throughout the Amazon, and it fuck, man, it's just so crazy. Just imagine if a plane can do ground penetrating radar, what we would find.
Oh, and I think I want to say it's Columbus, but it might be Cortez. Anyway, there's a line in his journal when he shows up in Florida, and he talks about there's hundreds of millions of people. Like he could go up on the top of the pyramid. That's what he says, and you can see the next one. You can literally see the next town. That's how popular. Like people, the government has made it sound like we showed up here and, dude, there was nothing. There was nobody here, bro. We just sort of, we discovered
just sort of killed everybody.
Which is I don't mean to laugh at that, but that's when his journal entry is there's hundreds of millions of people here.
Yeah,
and we think there was nobody. There was like 5 or 6 tribes: the Cherokees, the Hopis.
I mean, the Templars were here way before Columbus. Before Columbus. The Oak Island is proving that right now. I mean, even the Norsemen were here way fucking before. Like years before.
They showed up in Canada. I mean, Newfoundland, and where did they go from there? Well, they went somewhere.
Well, and they say that there's all kinds of cool shit to talk about. There really is. I think that we maybe should continue this in another time as well.
I agree.
But they even say that Cleopatra's son with Caesar, I believe, right? With Caesar, they had a missing son that supposedly went to the Americas to come and find things and create a new civilization over here, which the Hopi Indian have traces of Egyptian blood in them.
They do.
All kinds of stuff. There's obviously there's the Sphinx in the Grand Canyon, a pyramid in the Grand Canyon. He may have just traveled to come find that, and there's evidence of all.
So it's not over the stupid, what did they call it? The Ark, or whatever they call it. I forget, where they came from Russia to Alaska.
Oh yeah,
and populated the whole. What's that called? The land bridge, the Alaskan land bridge, where you're like, that's the theory that the government is like, no, dude, that's what happened. There's like me and John and our women came over the Alaskan land bridge and we populated the whole fucking country.
We did the whole thing, man. Only 2 of us survived, but we made the Aztecs happen. Fuck yeah.
So you look at, and like you say, you look at the structures. I was gonna, if whoever's listening to this, like the ancient apocalypse is what you should watch. And there's absolutely, like you said.
Sorry, I said ancient architects. I always do that. It's ancient apocalypse. No. Yes.
Ancient apocalypse. But there's one of the episodes talks about the people that built a total underground city that could house hundreds of thousands of people that nobody will talk about. Like, it should be on CNN, but I got to watch some show that everybody tells me is, dude, don't watch that because that guy's a nut job. What is his name? Graham Hansen or something like that?
Yeah, and then Billy Carson. That's a new guy that I'm really into. He's pretty good. Well, he's the one that actually has read all the tablets. He knows how to read them, and he has read all of them, and he is very well versed in what they say.
Yeah.
So if you guys are listening, you guys want to actually do some hardcore research. Graham, what's his last name?
Hansen.
Yeah, you'll find him. He's part of the ancient apocalypse. He's the one that wrote it.
If you Google ancient apocalypse, and it'll all come up in a second.
Yeah, he's an amazing dude. He knows so much shit. But Billy Carson, he's a self-developing person, kind of like I am. I'm coming up with the stories. He taught himself how to read the tablets, and all kinds of stuff. So that dude's got all kinds of books. He has his own TV show. He's got all kinds of stuff that he talks about. He's trying to educate as many people as he can.
Yeah, dude, it's honestly fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And just to see sort of the tie-ins, like you say, to the stories that the Western Christian all knows, and how they're so similar to what the hell's going on here.
Yeah.
Right? They're not like you said on your little story there. They're not 7,000 years old, bro. They're like 55,000 years old at least. And if you did the ground penetrating radar from an airplane over South America, like what would you find? Like billions and billions of shit, right?
One place that I want to know what is there is Russia. I want to know what's in Russia. They won't tell anybody, I'm sure.
No, Russia and China, the two largest land masses out there that have they're the largest populations, right?
Yep.
Crazy.
Which means they probably have the largest knowledge to hide.
Yeah, and they're super secretive, obviously.
Yeah. Why
to keep all that stuff under?
Why is America all about Israel? Let's talk about that. Why?
I'm Canadian, so I don't. You tell me why. I know why, but
whole Western civilization is based upon Jewish ideology, in my opinion.
It is,
and I don't know why.
What do they call it? The Jada, now I've lost it. Not Jada. I was going to say judo, Christian philosophy, whatever it is.
Judaism.
Judo Christian philosophy. Like that's when people get pissed off about stuff politically, they're like, we're going against our Jado Christian values. I know I'm saying that wrong, but our Jewish Christian values. Like it's all tied together. And the interesting thing, all those Abrahamic faiths, which are Judah, or the Jews, the Muslims, and the Christians, like they all started from one dude. It all goes back to Abraham, and we're all punching each other in the nuts as quickly as we can. It's like Family Feud.
Yeah,
it's what it is. Like,
I don't know. I don't even know what the ancient fight is about. Like, to me, from what my understanding is, it's actually about money and how things are ran with gold, in my opinion. And it's just bizarre. Like Russia and Germany and all that, they didn't want to play games with Israel's money bullshit. So they're like, nah, dude, we're not following you. We're not going to give you our gold for the Annunaki. Nah, this is our gold, man. I mean, that's kind of how I feel about it. We don't know the underlining stuff. I mean, even right now, they Hebrew with the SpaceX stuff, they say SpaceX is not Hebrew. Don't let people tell you that. And da-da-da. Like, I just read an article about it. I'm like, oh, you're telling us not to believe that, so it's probably true.
Right? Well, that's what's just happened in the last 4 years, is it not? That the government's like, dude, you need to take this, or you need to do this, because it's for the betterment of everybody. And we find out 3 years later that it's absolute horseshit. The whole thing. You lied to us from the beginning, and people will be like, no, they were just being cautious. No, I don't think they were being cautious. I think they were straight up lying to us.
Straight up plan.
Right?
It's the new world order, man. It's happening right now as we speak, and it's the transition is right now. It's like we're right on a whole new phase right fucking now.
They just signed. I don't know if America did, but my fucking Canada did. I think it's like Order 196, and they're all preparing for this stupid bird flu. Whatever the WHO says, everybody has to fall in line or else. I'm like, doesn't that sound like?
And I'm going to say this thing about Trump. He's the one that pulled us out of NATO and all that bullshit.
It's true.
I'm for that.
Yeah, I do think it's going to become, and this is a bad word, but it's what it is. I think it's going to become far more nationalistic. People are going to be like, listen, we got to look after our own shit. You guys
That's
figure
what it
out your
needs.
shit. We got it's no different from what you do.
Yeah.
What did you do? Like, we'll bring it full circle. You're like, dude, I got to look after my own shit. I got to cut this. I got to cut this. Got to focus on me and what's happening right in front of my eyeballs.
Yeah.
And then once you do that, then you can gut back out and say, all right, I'm here. I'm fixed, or not, I'm not fixed, but I'm ready. I'm prepped. We'll use the scripture. I've grown in wisdom and stature. Let's fucking go.
Amen.
That's right. It,
Oh,
yeah. It's literally, yeah. It's mind blowing.
straight up
And
mind
so,
blowing. And it's crazy when you start unveiling it. And I mean, to me, I like literally I'm fixated on it. I cannot get it out of my brain. Like if my life depended on it, like all day long, I'm it's all a huge equation in my head to me. And I'm a fucking plumber. And
yeah,
I love fix and repair, and I love finding the hardest leaks possible. I love diagnosing
problem solving, right? Yeah,
everything that no one else could find. I fucking do it, believe me. You know?
yeah, yeah. I agree. I think that's sort of where my own little research has come. I'm like, dude, that is weird. I got to figure out what the hell's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go to the next level. And as you know, there's this level, and then you're like, okay, what about this level? And then what the fuck is this level? And then, your mind starts to twist up into a pretzel. And you're like, okay, I got to go take a break and go fix a drain
Yeah.
or install some taps, and then I'll come back.
The problem for me, bro, it fucking haunts me because there's just mountains all around me. I'm like, what's in that mountain?
What's in
What's in that mountain? What's
there?
in this one?
Dude, I'm 30 minutes away from the biggest mountain, range of the world, and you drive through those things, and you're like, what is, oh man, don't worry, it just all smashed together and created these crazy things. Just keep going about buy your fucking Starbucks and your Nike shoes, and come on the gondola and spend your money. I'm like, dude, there's way more to this shit, way more.
Oh, it's so
It's
mind blowing. How we honestly don't need anything that we buy. We need none of it.
no, no.
Not one bit of it. It's
I
just
I
all
read
greed.
I read an article the other day that the average person has 17 years worth of clothing.
That's
You know what I mean? Like
pretty
you could
crazy.
just be like, you know what I mean? You never bought another thing. Starting today, everything would last you 17 years, and
So
then you might
crazy.
have to go buy yourself some underwear or something. I don't
Like,
know, but it's
you know what I did to prep for this? I went and saw the new Planet of the Apes movie. What a
and
perfect way to start this.
start get into the Akhenaki Sumerian. We came from. Well, like I say, I read an art. It was about 6 months ago, where it is codified. Like, it's been proven that, and my timeline is off. It's either between 4 or 7,000 years ago, where they can prove that these two chromosomes were smashed together. Again, it doesn't happen in nature.
Yeah.
Somebody came along and said, we're squishing this together, and we're making a man, a person, a creature, whatever their motive behind that is
Yeah,
speculation for the end of
you
time.
can research the God gene. The
There
God
it is.
gene is one of those two. Yep. They said
Yeah,
they put this God gene in us to turn it on or off or whatever the fuck they want to do, supposedly. And you guys, these are things we're not just coming out of this stuff out of thin air. These are written on tablets and scrolls. All of this stuff.
yeah, yeah,
It's not something that was just made up. Maybe recently discovered in the late 1800s and early 1900s. The Emerald Scrolls, I think, were recently found in the 1900s, early like 1905 or something, maybe like something like that. When
yeah,
coincidentally, gold mining was fucking huge.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, and
Oh,
it takes
you
them
think
like
we came
30 or
up with
40
the?
years,
Yeah, you think we found all the gold mines ourselves, guys? Nah, brah. No, we stole the gold mines.
right? Like, how long did the gold rush last there? And they were in the fucking rivers, as you know, in
Yeah.
California, looking for shit. But there's gold mines everywhere out there.
All over my Mojave Desert and San Bernardino County, fucking mega mines out here. And they're all, even in my mining claim, I have a mining claim, and my mining claim has remnants of 1910. They have core drills from 1910 on my fucking property.
Really?
Dude.
That's awesome.
50-foot deep core drill. How the fuck? A hand tool core drilling that deep.
50 feet.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Can't do that now.
No, I would. There's no way in hell you can make me do that. Especially in the middle of the desert. Fuck you.
Yeah, right? It's fucking hot down there. No, it's what else did I want on it? Yeah, it's I don't even know where to go.
Even say that they taught us how. They taught us how to farm. They taught us how to brew beer.
Yep.
They taught us how to do all of this stuff. And it's like there's a major gap in humanity from cavemen to who we are. Major.
That's what they said. That's what you're right. So what they're claiming with that little package that's on your story that you posted, that little reptile dude or bird dude or whatever the fuck he is obviously holding a package. Like 5,000 years ago, miraculously all over the planet, the agrarian society just started, which is impossible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, bam, it's everywhere. And like you say, that figure is everywhere. They found it in China. They found it in North America. They found it in the States. Like it's everywhere. It's, you know, like you say, it's a little bit different, but the symbology is there with the bag and we'll call it the pine cone. I've heard it as the pomegranate. Whatever it is, it's something, the seed, to be like, this is what you use and this is how you use it, and get to work and like multiply and replenish the earth, as they say.
Well, and they say that they under Atlantis, there is deep under Atlantis is where they buried all these people. Deep under Atlantis, like way fucking under there. So once we find it, which they believe that they found it, they will eventually go down there and find out what the fuck is in there. But I will say they did a very good job cleaning up everything before they left this planet. They didn't leave a lot of stuff behind, or that we can find right now because it's under the sands, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff under these sands, it's insane. They found 150 additional pyramids under the sands through ground penetrating radar in Egypt.
Right, and all that stuff. The city of the Valley of the Kings.
Yeah.
100 years ago was just desert. It was all. There was nothing there.
Same desert as mine. Same desert as mine.
Exactly. All just covered. Well, there's nothing under here. What the hell? Let's start excavating and finding out what's going on. And now it's, one of the coolest things on the planet. But I agree with you.
I really want to share some pictures on here, and I want to find out how, but I feel like it was a feature that used to be here. But anyhow, so in my neck of the woods, I don't know if you know where Las Vegas is, but I'm sure you know where Las Vegas is. I'm about 2.5 hours from Vegas. It's an easy drive.
Yeah.
So in between Vegas and here, there's a city called Laughlin, which is right on the Colorado River. So right there's this place called Christmas Tree Pass, they call it. And where this place is there's petroglyphs there from 1300 BC. And if you hike that area, which I just recently have, I have just found just the most fucking mind-blowing shit you can ever think of. Like literally a cross, Baker, that is 8 foot tall in granite that is 3 to 5 inches deep in this cross, pure decayed granite. That's
crazy.
This fucking
They're gonna kick us out. They're gonna kick us out here in 10 seconds.
Oh, they are.
Want to keep going?
Okay.
Want to keep going?
Yeah, my wife probably wants to go on a date with me, so probably not. Maybe we should do this again.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Johnny, come back and we'll set up a next one. We'll talk for 5 minutes. We'll end our conversation. I don't know why it kicks me out after an hour. Probably because I say bad things to people about people. Sorry about that. When I was on with Casey there the other day, we went for like almost 2 hours and they didn't kick us out. So I don't know what the deal is on that. But clearly, what we'll do is I'll talk to John and we'll maybe try and get a subject, a little more streamlined subject, and try and stay on topic a bit more because we were bouncing all over the place. So maybe we'll figure out that a feature that John was talking about, how to share pictures, and do that. I think you can do that on YouTube. I think the background's awesome. It's a freaking gym, man. Love it. I don't know if Johnny's going to come back. He might not come back. So we will do it again. We'll set it up and we'll talk offline and all the stuff you do to make these things happen. But thanks for everybody for joining. I wish we could figure out how to do the maybe we'll do next one of them. We'll do like question and answer. Like I say, we're not scholars on this, but it's certainly fascinating stuff. Super fascinating stuff. I'm just gonna one of the interesting things that I have. There's Johnny. You want to go first? One more.
I'll see if it'll let me do it. There we go. So I'm just saying, I don't know if you caught that. We'll 5 minutes wrap it up and then let you go and spend some time with your woman,
Okay.
which is more important than the Annunaki.
So I'll just do this real quick. I'll post it on my page if you guys really are interested in this. So this one region, I actually did a story. I posted it on there, but it's kind of hard to stop and look at it. However, this one region where I live, where it's, I think 13 or 1600 BC petroglyphs there from the Indians, I found the most craziest stuff there in a very small area, like one little tiny area of a massive location. I believe there's probably tombs there. There's probably all kinds of stuff. However, when I'm standing on this rock, okay, right where this cross is, I can see a serpent, okay?
Yeah.
On top of another rock pointing another direction to where there's caves. And then also if I turn the opposite direction, on that side, they're finding dinosaur bones and all kinds of shit. Like this is a valley, an ancient roadway from way back in the day. And all of this stuff also leads through the Hopi Indians and up to the Grand Canyon, all of this area. And then if you go the other way, it goes through Death Valley and then goes to Calico Ghost Mine and Ghost Town. And it goes all the way to the east or the west coast over here. So
awesome.
There's all kinds of crazy stuff out where I'm at. And also Oatman is one of the biggest and oldest gold mines that there's been in America. And they've pulled out so much gold out of that location that they probably just took over from the Indians or whoever, right?
Whoever was running it, yep. No, it's great. Well, do that, and maybe like I was saying, we'll pick like a maybe we'll pick a topic on serpents or gold or you know what I mean, and we can sort of
just like
sort of
one thing. Yeah,
streamline it because my head is exploding because I'm like, what about this? Like when you're talking, I'm like, what about that? What about that? So maybe we'll pick one or two and just sort of give her and see where it goes.
Be one of my coaches, bro. I need that too because when I'm even in business, I need people to. We're not. Hey, John, we're not doing this. We're doing this.
No, but I'm the same way. Like you're talking, I'm like, oh, here's 6 things I want to add to that, and then I get into 2, and you're like, dude, what about this? And so it's a bit chaotic. It's like do. So yeah, we'll set it up, and we'll turn it into the Annunaki series or whatever the hell we're gonna do, and
Hell yeah,
have a good time. Have a good time with it. And,
I
all right,
appreciate
brother.
your brotherhood.
Be good.
We'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Have a good night. Bye, everybody. All right, that's it. Thanks, everybody. Next one is Tuesday. With Wes Magson, I think I'm saying that right. And we're going to talk about venture capitalists taking over the trade, and is that a good thing or a bad thing? And what that means for you and me and everybody else. Look at that, everybody's in here. All right, gents. Thoughts on Odie Fest? You didn't hear my post on Odie Fest? How was the training? Did you learn what the different glues smelled like? How about the composition of wax seals? How many gallons per minute does a automatic air admittance valve add to your thing? It looks like you guys, I mean, it is what it is. It is a party. It's a reason to get together. It's a reason. It's an opportunity for Ote to sell product. That's how. But can you talk about it, or is it secret like the Annunaki? There you go. He signed an NDA. Listen, I got Ote's. They sent me a banner. I got that. I got tons of shit. So, listen, you know exactly what my feelings are on that. It's if you got time for it, then do it. But I mean, you're pumping somebody else's tires. As far as I'm concerned, you've got to pump your own tires, and that's how I feel about it. You guys know that's how I feel about it. Yeah, I think that we as a trade need to level up and be better at what did we learn with Dennis? Expect respect. I think you guys don't expect enough respect, and you guys go there for a free dinner and free beer, and they get all sorts of advertising out of it, which certainly benefits them. I don't think it benefits you, and I think that speaks to it. You sign an NDA. Is it that proprietary that nobody can know about it? Like, is it like what was the last NDA? I think Evan, it's not. I'm like, it's not hate. It's just my critique of it. It's just my opinion of it. I do think that what was the Milwaukee Pipeline? I'm assuming you'll be at that as well. They'll make you sign an NDA for the new, I don't know, post hole driller. And I understand what they're doing. They're trying to create some panache and some fire about it, like it's some national secret. But is it really? I mean, you're sitting there right now, looking at me talk, thinking of the 3 things that are top secret, and I suspect if you're super honest with yourself, like, yeah, I mean, cool, but is it revolutionary? No, it's not. But I appreciate you guys all coming on. I appreciate John. Like I was saying at the beginning, I've known John for 6 or 7 years now, and he's a good dude. He knows what he's doing. He is certainly, trying to develop a business, and we've had lots of conversations offline about how to do that, and the pitfalls that await all of us as business owners. All that to say, I like most of you. There's only a couple of people in this world I love. I don't use that word very often. So I like most of you. Evan, anytime you want to go live, I'm happy to do it. The rest of those guys, The only ones that haven't blocked me, I'll say, the only ones that haven't blocked me is Ty Custom and Keller. And maybe that's it. So you had what? You had 9 dudes there, and 3 of them haven't blocked me, and you're one of them. So kudos to you. Anyway, that's the wrap up of the show. Like I say, next time we'll pick an actual we'll pick an actual like more specific subject, and we'll, like you say, we'll either talk about serpents. Why are serpents so prevalent in every culture and religion? Or gold. We'll talk about gold, or some of the stuff that John's finding in his backyard, which is super cool. So watch for those posts, and I'll repost them when he posts them out there. Anyway, that's it. I got a farm to build and stuff to do. So I appreciate your time in this attention economy. I appreciate you putting a few eyeballs on what's happening here. Adios, chongos. Build it, don't buy it.